Well, if not, I have one. That I would- As an economic developer, one of the programs that we use day in and day out, especially in rural Iowa, when we're recruiting and when we're helping companies, are the job training funds that are available through the community colleges. There's been some talk that that bill is going, that is, the 260E and 260F funds are going to be changed from a bonding perspective, will be taken into the state. Have you seen any bills on that or any definitive legislation or ideas coming up on that yet? And how do you feel about that?
The short answer is no. I've seen newspaper talk. I've seen nothing in the legislature at all regarding that. Based on what's in the newspaper, you're going to have to take a look at it and see whether that's good or not. I mean, my basic understanding of that is they are able to capture the payroll taxes from new hires and take that money and pay off the bonding that's been issued for the training process. And frankly, I've had no discussions with regard to that. There are allegations made in the newspaper that Iowa spends far more for training, worker training, than any other place. The numbers in the newspaper were 13,000 per job created, and the national average is like $525 per job created. I don't know if there's any truth in that. I just know that's what I read in the newspaper. That's rather significant. It also alleged that Iowa's job training budget exceeds all other states, I believe, or all other states except California, which of course has a population that is well in excess of 10 times of ours. So I don't know. When you have those kind of numbers thrown out, should there be some look at it? Yes, I agree. There ought to be some look at it.
And on the House side, there's nothing brought up, but there again, we can't make speculation until we actually see the bill and see what's coming in front of us. It's very tough to make any assumptions there.
There's some other questions.
Ken Bear is mayor here in Templeton. I know the governor has proposed, everything that he's proposed is mostly not reached the House and the Senate yet. One of those issues pertains to property tax valuations. One of the proposals is to cut commercial property tax values by 40%. That will have an impact on cities. So I'm just kind of wondering, I know it probably hasn't been brought up, what your positions are on property tax reform going forward?
The majority leader of the Senate said if you were going to place a bet on an issue that would actually pass through and be signed by the governor, you just hit the one that may very well happen. The governor has proposed that all new commercial construction be valued for tax purposes at 60%. And he has proposed that over a 5-year period, all existing commercial property be reduced 8% per year until it gets down to that 60% level. You'll notice in his budget proposal there is no discussion of the out years, and of course there is no impact until the out years, so that remains unknown. You hear conversation about a backfill that would at least help local governments recoup from that. You get very mixed discussions from local officials with regard to that proposal. I've been in 2 of them that I'm aware of that were completely opposite. When you asked the folks up in Storm Lake, they were very concerned about it, along the lines that you expressed. I was with another senator who had just come from one of those meetings in Sioux City, and they were absolutely ecstatic with it, because they have to directly compete across the river, and they have commercial enterprises up there threatening all new construction will go across the river. It will not be done in the Iowa side. So there's a real need to do that. Is there going to be some pain created? I suspect there is, Mayor, and you may need to be creative as to how you're going to handle some of that. I would hope there would be some effort on the part of the legislature to alleviate part of that, but not in my wildest dreams do I believe that the state will pick up the entire difference. I think that is going to fall on your expertise and your shoulders.
And commercial taxes or property taxes are at a pretty high rate. But like I say, you gotta be very careful as cities realize this, as that comes down. It's a direct impact on them. So it's gonna have to be done very slowly, take care of so that cities can rebound on that. And as far as our counties, we're kind of having a same type of a problem, I should say a little bit of a problem, but we have productivities on ag lands. And what's happening right now, and coming from a supervisor spot, our engineer wanted to implement try to pass a 2, 3, 4 cent fuel tax on ag fuels. Because what's happening, we're getting buildings built up out here in the rural area, and there's no added increase to help pay for if we need paving to it, new added gravel to them, there's no extra monies coming in, so this added fuel tax for rural would help cover that. But I am right now writing a bill up, we're just getting in the grassroots of it, and what I'm playing with or looking at, this is not any new idea, but all property tax in a county right now cannot go up over 4% in any given year. It's kind of capped at that. And as you build a new dairy barn, actually it happened down in Shelby County. They put up a big $26 million dairy operation. And what happened was, this $26 million come here and it just lowered everybody's property tax in the rural area by just a little bit. Nobody noticed it, but there was no added funding to the county to do roads, infrastructure, or anything like that. So what I'm proposing is, we're writing it up where you not really a freeze, but you hold the property tax where it's at. For any new construction of maybe over $500,000 for ag buildings would go on another line item. They're gonna pay the same tax, but then the counties, the schools will get a little added out of that so they can build the infrastructure to those. And those are some areas, that will help out a little bit. As we take away some commercial taxes, those are some things we can dream up to do to help offset some of that. And we're just in the drawing phase of it to see where it comes out.
Another thing, a nuance to that, and I don't know if you have, do you have TIF? Have you TIF some of, I think that's an interesting aspect to this discussion is to what will happen in those TIF districts. And I don't know that's been thought through completely or studied through completely, but if you've bonded for a TIF district and then you have reduced valuations, how that all impacts it. But that's why you got elected and get the big dollars.